Carmela, Frappato is a summer wine.
It sure is.
It's fresh, it's fruity, and it's chillable. You can chill red wines, you know.
I know.
The right kind of red wine.
Sure.
And the right kind of red wine to chill is Frappato.
Nice.
And today we've found at least one that we think is amazing. So you're going to have to listen in to find out which one, but you will not be disappointed.
No, ma'am and sir.
Hello, fellow poor souls, and welcome to the Wine Pair Podcast.
Wow.
I'm Joe, your sommelier of reasonably priced wine, and this is my wife and my wine pairing partner in crime, Carmela.
Hi there.
And we are the Wine Pair.
Woohoo!
If you're new to our podcast, here's what we do. Every week we buy wines under $25 with our own darn money. We taste them and we give you our brutally honest opinion on whether they're worth buying. Nobody pays us to review specific wines. We don't accept free bottles from wineries, and we're not afraid to call out a bad wine when we taste one.
Ow!
Decanter Magazine calls us fun, irreverent,
Chatty.
and entertaining. So if that sounds like your vibe, welcome to our tribe of wine lovers.
Of poor souls?
That's right. Well, that came from Timmy.
Oh,
I didn't bring it. Timmy, he sent us a whole bunch.
That was kind of heavy.
Heavy. Was
he's dark.
He's got lighter ones that will come by. But I thought I'd start with a deep one from Timmy first.
Wow, that's really thought-provoking.
It is.
What does that really mean?
Ponder.
Did he talk about it?
No, he didn't. He just sent a whole bunch.
Okay.
But if you have a tribe name that you want to share with us, let us know, and we'll ask you if you want to be on the podcast if you haven't been on before, because we've had Timmy. So, there you go. Anyway, today, Carmela, we are on another Italian wine adventure.
Hooray!
And we're heading back to Sicily to talk about a wine that some people love and some people just don't get, but that's supposed to be great for summer, called Frappato. Now, we've done actually several wines from Sicily on the podcast lately, and this, in fact...
And we've never been...
I was just going to say that. In fact, it's the fourth out of the last 5 of our Italian wine adventures are on Sicilian wines, including Nero d'Avola, Etna Rosso, and Etna Bianco. And so you kind of stole my thunder, but you may be wondering why we're doing this, and it's because...
You're taking me to Sicily!
I wish.
Oh, okay.
But maybe we're trying to put pressure on ourselves to go to Sicily.
Okay.
Now, the second reason why is because of the TV series White Lotus, which made everyone, including us, want to go to Sicily, but not to the same place they went.
Yeah, and I don't know. Part of me is like, maybe we should stay away from Sicily.
Yeah, actually, maybe you're right. Now that I think about that a little bit more. But third, and most important, the reason is because Sicilian wine has had a tremendous turnaround over the last couple of decades that we need to celebrate. And we firmly believe that people just need to know more about the wines that are coming from the island.
Okay.
Now, Carmela, for most of the 20th century, Sicily was primarily known as Europe's bulk wine supplier. That's not a great thing. It was often thought of as a fine wine desert.
Oh.
Not a thing you want to
Interesting.
be
I
known for.
had no clue.
Well, now you do. Okay. Sicilian grapes were often over-ripened and sold to producers in northern Italy and France to kind of beef up or add body to thinner wines.
They wine sluts. No, you can
Wow, no,
that
that's staying right in there.
No.
Red wines from Sicily that were made during this time were generally thought of as alcohol. She's shaking her head. But I have all the control.
Get a hold of that tape.
I'm the editor. It's not actually a tape. They were known as alcohol-heavy fruit bombs. It's all digital now. Oh, yeah. Not very good, not very sophisticated, but like me. But by the 1970s and 1980s, many people had sort of given up on the Sicilian wine sluts, and local winemaking was practically abandoned as the young people left the island for industrial jobs in northern Italy.
Oh.
Now, however, there was a shift in quality.
Sure, industrial jobs.
Yeah, right. That's what they all say. Okay,
my new job.
Yeah. Ooh. Anyway, there was a shift in quality that started in the late 1980s and 1990s, led by a handful of producers who wanted to bring back winemaking in Sicily and focus on local grapes and traditions. Basically, they wanted to move away from being the supplier of cheap, crappy, slutty bulk wine. These winemakers started to focus. I like that. I'm kind of going to start adding that in. The winemakers started to focus on natural winemaking and native grapes like Nero d'Avola, Nerello Mascalese, and Frappato over international grapes like Merlot and Cabernet Sauvignon, those hussies, which had been planted all over the island. Now, a major milestone occurred in 2005, Carmela, when Cerasuolo di Vittoria was elevated to DOCG status.
Wow.
That's the highest status in Italy. And it was Sicily's first and only denomination to hold this highest quality designation of Italy. And incidentally, Cerasuolo di Vittoria is a blend of Nero d'Avola and Frappato.
Oh, my.
So there you go. So put that in your brain box to impress your wine nerd friends.
I think my brain box is full.
It's just
It's
spilling.
going to be really hard to pull out some of these files.
For sure. Now, today, Carmela, Sicily is considered one of the most exciting and innovative wine regions in Italy. And for many wine nerds, Mount Etna has emerged as a really important destination for great and less expensive wine, particularly for Nerello Mascalese grapes, the main grape in Etna Rosso, which, as we said in our episode on it, is often compared to Burgundy, which you should know is Pinot Noir. Red Burgundy is Pinot Noir. If you didn't know that, we'll always tell you that. There's also a significant trend among the cool people, which we are not a part of, but we are cool adjacent.
Wait, speak for yourself.
Okay, you are, but I'm not. I'm kind of cool adjacent because I'm married to you, toward chillable reds, which Frappato falls into perfectly for those seeking low tannin, high acid, and lighter bodied wines rather than those heavy, big, flabby, oak driven reds.
Oh, cool.
It's kind of a more fun and festive and chillable,
refreshing.
Exactly. And many top Sicilian producers now lead the way in organic and biodynamic viticulture, focusing on low intervention methods and ancient techniques like fermenting in terracotta amphora or big clay jars like we talked about in the Portugal episode on Alentejo wines. So look, Carmela, here's the deal. The cool kids like you are all about wines from Sicily. So for you out there in listening land, if they're not on your radar yet, we're trying like hell to get them on your radar so you can be cool enough for TikTok.
What?
And I'm just starting to do some TikTok.
I know our daughter saw that you were on TikTok. And I thought maybe it was because you were trying to follow her content. But no, she said you are posting.
I'm just posting. Oh. And we have 2 Frappato wines that we have chilling right now. And we're going to taste and review them today to let you know if either of them or both of them should be on your wine list. But first,
you got to do our shameless plug.
That's right. So thank you for listening to us and for supporting our show. And remember, we buy all the wine that we taste and review every week so that we can give you real and honest reviews. So if you like what you're hearing, and we know you do, please subscribe to our podcast and leave us a 5-star rating and review so we can grow our listeners. That helps us a lot. We also love to hear from you, and we always respond, so you can follow us on Instagram and Blue Sky at The Wine Pair Podcast. You can always contact us on our website, thewinepairpodcast.com, and you can sign up for our email newsletter there, which you just missed. But if you send me an email, I will hand deliver it to your email inbox. So you can send us a note at joe@thewinepairpodcast.com. And we always respond. We love to hear from you. We love to connect with you. So just reach out and shoot the breeze.
Love it.
And as we do every week, we'll tell you someone we think you should recommend the Wine Pair Podcast to, because the best way for us to grow listeners is when you tell your family and friends about us. And this week, we want you to recommend us to anyone who's looking for a light, chillable red wine to drink this summer, because this wine, Frappato, may be just the thing they're looking for. Just the thing for spring, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay, Carmela, it's time to find out just what the Frappato is, don't you think?
Oh my gosh.
Frappato is believed to have originated in the Vittoria region of southeastern Sicily, where we've never been.
No.
There is some debate about how long it's been around, but there are some interesting factoids about it to put in your brain box and also use to impress your wine nerd friends.
Okay.
The first written mention of Frappato dates back to 1760 in a work by the botanist and librarian, those two things are kind of interesting, Domenico Sestina, entitled Notes on the Wines of Vittoria. And there are some who say there are regional records that place the variety in Ragusa as far back as the 1600s. Oh. So Ragusa and Vittoria are pretty close to each other, so both are likely to be true. Two things can be true at the same time.
Of course.
They can be mentioned in Vittoria and still be coming from Ragusa.
Of course.
Yeah, so don't fight about it,
No.
people. Be friends. This is a really juicy morsel of fact, though, Carmela, that I really like. Modern DNA research has found that Frappato is a direct genetic relative of Sangiovese.
Wow.
That's right.
How does that happen?
the Sangiovese and somebody else had a baby.
Oh, my.
And that baby was Frappato.
I hope they weren't first cousins.
Ooh, first cousins. Yeah, no, not good. They have like...
I mean, I don't know what that all means.
I don't know, but Sangiovese is, of course, the famous grape in Chianti. and Brunello di Montalcino. So you got to know that. And some experts believe it may be a cross between Sangiovese and another unidentified variety, which is really interesting. Like, where did this other variety go? Where is it? What's it? That's a mystery. If anybody knows, let us know.
Mystery.
Now, beyond written records, Carmela, DNA markers do link the variety to ancient Greek colonization in the 6th century BC. So that's a long time ago. This suggests that while the name Frappato is more recent, its genetic lineage has been part of Sicilian viticulture for thousands of years.
Whoa.
The name Frappato, this is kind of cool itself, provides some evidence of how long it's been around with local farmers, because it comes from the Sicilian dialect Frappato or Rapatu, which means many clusters. And so the name reflects that it came from common folk or peasants, because very often they name things for kind of what they look like.
Sure.
Right? So it wasn't like some ooh, genetically it's like, hey, it looks like a big bunch of clusters. Let's call it Frappato.
What would they call us? Like if somebody just named us based on how we look.
Beauty and the Beast. Okay. Anyway.
No, I wasn't going to go down.
You were fishing. You're fishing.
I wasn't.
No, she was.
Oh boy.
No, but anyway, I guess Frappato does grow in compact and abundant bunches. Which sounds dirty, but it's not. So for most of its history, Frappato was mostly used as a blending component to tame Nero Diavolo, which can be super strong. And so adding Frappato added freshness, it added some brightness, some red fruit, some floral notes to the blends. And by the mid-20th century, Frappato, like all Sicilian wine that we mentioned earlier, faced a crisis. Winemaking was being abandoned and forgotten as younger people left for better lives in other parts of Italy, and was part of that bulk wine that Sicily was most known for. Now, the modern history of Frappato began in the 1980s. Also with the renaissance of Sicilian wine, and winemakers moved away from industrial ways of making wine and went back to very traditional things like crushing grapes by foot, which I kind of wish they wouldn't do.
Ew.
That kind of grosses me out.
Yeah. I almost feel like they need to disclose that on the bottle.
And I feel like that's one tradition you don't have to go back to.
No.
It's okay.
That was because for particular reasons.
I think so.
I mean, I think they were like, we need to be resourceful and we don't need to be that way anymore.
I guess. I just hope they still don't do it. But in recent decades, Frappato has really started to catch on as winemakers started to make 100% Frappato wines like the ones we're drinking today, rather than just blending it. And we're able to show its potential as what some call an elegant, light-bodied, standalone variety. Some even call it sophisticated. As a chillable red, which may be surprising to some people. Elegant, sophisticated, and also chillable. And a good alternative for consumers who like Pinot Noir but want something maybe even a little more fresh.
Right.
Yeah, so there you go. Okay. Now, in addition to Pinot Noir, Frappato is actually often compared to Gamay. And some call it Sicily's answer to Beaujolais.
Oh, nice.
Which... And we think that Beaujolais is one of the more misunderstood wines. It's a great wine, except for that crappy Beaujolais Nouveau, which always comes out around Thanksgiving, or for those of you not from the U.S., like the third week of November, because that's actually not a very good wine.
No.
But like Beaujolais Villages and really nice Cru Beaujolais is excellent, and it's made from the Gamay grape. In fact, in that episode, we did an episode called Bonkers for Beaujolais, and we gave one of them a 10.
Amazing.
That doesn't happen very often.
No.
So both Frappato and Beaujolais are loved for their freshness, for having really bright acidity, which, by the way, makes them really good with food, and low tannin levels. Then that's why they're chillable and easy drinking. Wines with a lot of tannin you don't want to chill because they start tasting crappy. Some producers of Frappato utilize carbonic maceration. And that sounds dirty, but it's not, Carmela, and I'm going to tell you what it is.
Wow.
It's a technique that is used a lot in Gamay, in Beaujolais, to enhance the wine's fruitiness. What carbonic maceration is a way of making red wine that's a little like letting the grapes ferment from the inside out. So normally winemakers crush the grapes and then yeast turns the grape juice, the sugar in the grape juice, into alcohol. With carbonic maceration, what the winemaker does is they put uncrushed grapes into a sealed tank filled with carbon dioxide. And since there's little to no oxygen there, the grapes start to actually kind of ferment inside their own skins before they're crushed. And what it does is it makes wines really fruity and bright and smooth and low in tannin. And sometimes, you can get those candy-like flavors in red wines.
Let's think about this.
Oh, now she
ferment within your own skin.
That's sometimes how I feel when it's a really hot day.
I was going to say, that is kind of feeling familiar.
Why? But you were looking at me.
Next time, are you fermenting? By the way, are you fermenting?
Then I'll say, do I smell like it? Or am I just smelling fruity?
And like roses.
God, anyway,
Floral.
A lot of information.
Very floral.
A lot of stuff coming out of Carmela today.
No,
okay.
You smell nice all the time.
Oh, not like I'm fermenting.
No.
Okay. Sometimes she does say, did you just ferment? No, she never says that.
Said that.
No.
I might, though. I kind of like that.
It's a more polite way of saying passing gas.
Whoa,
are you fermenting?
Whoa.
Okay, anyway, both Frappato and Gamay are food-friendly and are often said to have a silky texture. And they make really unpretentious wines, but they're really delicious. Then they may be a little bit too easy drinking for wine snobs. Okay? But we're not wine snobs.
No, we can take it. We can handle it.
For people who like to have fun, it might be a good wine.
Right. Easy drinking is fine by us.
Yeah, but if you're like, I'm super serious about my wine.
That's silly.
Yeah, then maybe you won't like it.
Well, no, but maybe you will and you just won't say it and then you're hiding a secret.
Yeah, a secret.
And then how happy are you? Secret lovers? What were you going to say?
I was going to sing a song, but I think it was a different. It was Easy Lover, but it's not Secret
it's
Lover.
Secret Lovers.
I got it. Okay.
Do you know how to sing that song?
No, but we've talked about a lot of things today.
I know. I think you would.
Go ahead. Tell me the song.
I'm not going to sing it, but
Please.
you would sing it well.
I don't know what it is.
Secret lovers.
I don't, but
that's what we.
I like this.
You don't
I like
know
this
that
a lot.
Song?
I don't.
Guys, a lot of people might know this song on this podcast.
Oh, we have totally lost it.
Maybe not the way that I sung it, though.
Can I get back to the wine? Okay, yes. Carmela, classic Frappato is still said to come from Vittoria and Ragusa in Sicily. However, today, more than 46% of Frappato in Sicily is grown in the area of Trapani, which is on the northwestern part of the island, so it's really far away from Ragusa and Vittoria. They also make Frappato in the province of Agrigento and on Mount Etna, and about 85% of all Frappato is made in Sicily. All over the world. Outside of Sicily, they're actually growing a lot of Frappato in Puglia, one of our favorite places in Italy where Carmela's family is from. And they're also starting to grow it in California, including in Paso Robles and other warm climate areas like Australia.
Oh, wow.
So it's a good warm climate wine. And on a side note, the right serving temperature for Frappato is said to be 57 to 61 degrees Fahrenheit or 14 to 16 degrees Celsius.
Cold.
Yeah, well, it's
feels like
cool.
Cool.
But it's cellar temperature or wine fridge temperature. It's not refrigerator temperature.
Got it.
And the advice we always have is the 20-20 rule. So if you don't have a temperature controlled cellar or a wine fridge, pop that wine in the fridge for about 20 to 30 minutes before you serve it and it'll be perfetto. The temperature will be perfetto. But I think that's enough information, Carmela. I think it's time to learn about the wines that we're going to drink today. What do you say?
Let's do it.
All right. So today, the wines we have chosen for this episode average under $25 each, but one was a bit over that price and one was a bit under. But on the bias, they're $25.
Got it.
Okay, that really took me a lot to get out.
Yeah.
Anyway, a lot of editing there. They should be relatively easy to find because one I bought at wine.com and the other I bought at a local Seattle wine shop that I really like called Esquin. But this wine can be found all over the web, the one that I got at Esquin. Frappato, by the way, is also just getting easier to find. But you're going to have to go to a store with a pretty good wine selection or a good Italian wine selection. And as we always say, go to your local wine merchant, ask them to help you find a Frappato, and they'd be happy to. And sometimes natural wine shops will have it, etc., because of all the natural wine and biodynamic wine that's being made in Sicily. Now, the first wine we're going to drink today is the 2022 Valle Dell'Acate Il Frappato Vittoria. And it was a little hard to find out too much about this vintage. Most of the information online I could find was for the newest vintage of 2024, not 2022. But I can tell you there were a whole mess of good ratings, including 91s from Decanter, Wine Advocate, Falstaff, and Saki James Suckling.
Oh, Jimmy.
Jimmy sucks. Okay, since it was a little hard to find out too much information about this specific vintage, I will do the best I can from the information I was able to glean from the interwebs, but maybe there's a little grain of salt with this. The wine is 100% Frappato, and as the name suggests, it's from the Vittoria region of Sicily. The winery says the wine comes from 10 to 20-year-old vines planted in black soils with white stones. They use spontaneous fermentation with indigenous yeasts in stainless steel. They also macerate the wine for about a week, which is enough to make you go blind. And then they age the wine in stainless steel for 6 months.
You crack yourself up.
I do. The winery is also certified organic. Now, the winery traces its history back to the 1800s and has been in the same family for 6 generations. Today, it's run by Gaetana Giacono. Gaetana was not a name I'd heard of. It's the female version of Gaetano. I have a cousin named Gaetano, which is the male name. And she really focuses on indigenous grapes. And in 2013, she was elected the brand ambassador for the wines of Cerasuolo di Vittoria. And her winery is said to make a really great Cerasuolo di Vittoria. Remember, that's the one DOCG wine in Sicily that's a mix of Nero de Avola and Frappato.
Wow.
The next wine we're going to drink is the 2024 Gurrieri Frappato, which also says Terre Siciliane on the label, in case you're looking. This one was also a little hard to find out much information about, but I was able to find it on a lot of places on the web, and I bought it at wine.com. And there was a tech sheet, but I'm not 100% sure it's for the 2024 vintage. So again, cross your fingers that this information is right. But, it'll be close enough. The grapes come from the Ragusa area and the Fagotto district. The soil is sand and clay, so it's good for water stressing the grapes. Remember, grapes, it's good to water stress the grapes because it makes richer, more juicy grapes. The winery says they hand harvest the grapes into small crates in mid-September at perfect technological and polyphenolic maturity. Wow. That's what they said. They ferment with indigenous yeast carried out at controlled temperature with 20 days of skin maceration, which is way too long. And then, that's a bad joke. Yeah. 20 days of skin maceration is totally fine. Then they age for 6 months in steel and at least 3 months in the bottle. And they also say they do light filtration and cold stabilization. Now, for those who want to know what cold stabilization is, because I wasn't exactly sure what it was, cold stabilization is a winemaking technique where the wine is chilled down before it's bottled. Now, the reason is because wine naturally contains something called tartaric acid. And when wine gets really cold, that acid can form tiny crystals. They almost look like little broken glass or salt, and you've probably seen them occasionally when you open a bottle of wine, because on the cork, you may have these little crystals on the cork that was in the bottle. They're totally harmless, but some people don't like to see those on the bottle. They think there's something wrong with the wine. So before bottling, some winemakers may chill the wine on purpose. It causes the crystals to form in the tank instead of in the bottle or later in your refrigerator. And then the winemaker removes those crystals and the wine goes into the bottle looking really clear and clean. And the winery is run by brother and sister Giovanni and Angela Gurrieri, and they started it in 2010, and I think I read that both of them are engineers.
Oh, so Marty Pants.
Yeah, exactly. They focus on native vines, which they grow organically, and they produce in small quantities. So, for instance, they only made 3,000 cases of the wine we're going to drink tonight.
Oh.
But you know what, Carmela? I think that's enough information. I think it's time to drink a little Frappato. What do you say?
Bring it on.
Okay, if you have a Frappato or a Sicilian wine or a red wine or a chilled red wine or anything, drink along with us. Share with us your tasting notes, and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back and we're ready to try our first wine. And I will say, I have been storing these for the last 24 hours in our wine fridge, which is set at 58 degrees Fahrenheit. So perfect serving temperature, right in the valley.
Spot.
That's right. And speaking of valley, this is the Valle Dell'Acate il Frappato Vittoria. It's from Sicily in Italy. It's a 2022 vintage, $22.99 at Esquin. 12.5% alcohol, 100% Frappato. And this is the one that has a 91 from Decanter, a 91 from Wine Advocate, a 91 from Falstaff, a 91 from Saki James Suckling, and a 3.8 from Vivino, which is a little low. But let's talk about the color first. What do you think?
Well, I have less in my glass, so I know that always kind of changes it, but I'm seeing like a brown hue around the edges.
Okay.
I mean, it looks a little aged for some reason to me. It's not super bright.
I'm seeing what you're seeing, but it is translucent. It's clear. It's light colored.
Right.
And it reminds me of a Gamay or a Pinot. It's kind of got that lightness to it. Okay, well, let's see what we're smelling.
It's kind of strong.
Very perfumey, very flowery.
Yeah, I'm getting flowers on it too.
Almost like rose petals.
Fresh. Fresh. Kind of fresh rose petals, I would say.
It's like very aromatic, like cherry candy smell.
Yeah, almost like more of a tart cherry to me.
Although on the back, there's almost a little like peppery, something a little peppery on it.
Oh, you're getting a lot on this. Okay.
I really like the way it smells.
I can't keep up with you here.
I really like the way it smells. I think it's, fruity, but rich. There's like almost a cinnamon.
I was saying a little bit of anise, like an anise seed on it too.
Licorice.
Which you were getting candy.
Candy. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, should we try it and see what we think?
Let's.
It's totally juicy. It does have a licorice, but it's like this combo of red licorice and black
dark,
licorice.
I agree. Almost like some of those fancier licorices, like the raspberry and strawberry that are a little fancier.
From like Norway or something.
Yes, yeah.
Or Swedish or Australia.
Yes, yeah.
Throw another shrimp on the barbie.
Wow.
It's pretty delicious.
It's really nice. And I think it is very nice to have it a little chilled.
Yeah.
But this is a great temperature because it's not cold.
Yeah, and I've actually tried Frappatos that are not cold, and sometimes they get a little bit, like, there is a little bit of, like, steeliness on it, and I think sometimes it can almost get, like, gamey, tastes like meat if it's too warm.
Oh.
So I think that this is a wine that you really do want to serve cold. I do think that like 55 to 60 degrees is really the temperature you want it at. So don't let it, if you're in a picnic, bring some ice or one of those sleeves along with you. Don't let it sit out in the sun because it'll start to cook and it might taste like crap.
I don't think it would do as well.
No, I don't think so. But it's a picnicky wine, don't you think?
I do. It's very refreshing for a red wine. It's pretty light.
It is.
I know I haven't launched into what to eat with this, but I do think there are lots of fun outdoor foods to have with this.
You know, one thing I will say about this that I think is also coming through, like it does have some tannin. It's more tannin than I thought. It actually tastes like grape skins. Like red, you know what I mean? Like I used to like peel off the grape skins. It kind of tastes like grape skins.
And or even like a bramble, some sort of like strawberry bramble, you know?
A little earthy on it, maybe a little clay or something. But I really am tasting skin, like grape skin.
Yes, and they do have that tea or tannin taste.
Yes.
Skins do.
That's what I'm saying. Like this one has got tannic. More tannin than I thought. Like it really dries off the tongue. It's got a lot of acidity. Huh. Yeah, a lot of acidity, but also that cleaning tannin. So I think it's going to be really good with food. So let's talk about the food. What food might you have with this wine?
What are you thinking?
I mean, to me, this is a great picnic wine. I could see this with like cheeses, with sandwiches.
I was going to say that. Sandwiches.
I feel like a burger would be really good with a burger.
I do. I'm fully in agreement with an outdoor feast with this. Would be delicious. I mean, you could grill foods too with this, but a sandwich sound. I mean, any kind of sandwich. Yeah. A steak sandwich. You know, like a meatball sandwich.
Meatball.
Something juicy like that would be good.
A pork cutlet sandwich.
Oh my.
A Cubano sandwich.
Be so like un bien.
Un bien.
It's in Seattle.
I will say I'm starting to get a little cherry on this now.
Okay.
A little bit
now
of cherry.
It's been opened up for a little while.
Yeah. That's. I mean, it is nice and cold, but we just opened it up, so
it's definitely fruity.
It's fruity. It's really. I'm really enjoying this wine, and it is reminding me of a Gamay. What other foods?
You know what? I smell it too.
Cherry.
Again, I'm getting more cherry on it now. Before, I felt like when we first opened it, it was a little bit like hot almost. I know it's not super high in alcohol at all.
No, it's only 12.5.
But now it is sort of mellowing out and the cherry is coming through.
Yeah, I think so too. Almost like a kind of a rich cherry. Almost like a liqueured cherry.
Ooh, a cherry cordial.
Yes. Anything else you'd eat it with, or should we just get onto the rating?
I think that I think we feel like we have decided it's a great cookout wine. It's definitely a summer wine. You can have it all year round, but this would be, just especially delicious.
Although I will say, I think at like Thanksgiving table or Christmas table would be really nice. And it's pretty. Like it's a pretty wine. Okay. As a reminder on our rating scale, we rate on a scale of 1 to 10. We don't give half points. 7 and above means we would buy it. 4 or below means we're going to pour it down the sink. 5 or 6 means it's okay. It's good enough to drink and we'll finish it, but we're not going to buy it. So Carmelo, what rating are you going to give the Valle Dell'Acate Il Frappato Vittoria?
I think that, I am, a good red wine for me is harder to come by. I'm going to definitely give it an 8.
Yeah, I'm giving it an 8 too, but I'm just going to say it's an 8 that based on you have to chill it.
Yes.
If you do not have this wine chilled, you're going to be like, it's a 5. It really does stand out, I think, when it's a little chilled. Again, it doesn't have to be refrigerator cold. I think if you had it refrigerator cold, it'd be refreshing, but I don't think it'd have a lot of flavor.
We'll have to leave one of our glasses out just to see.
And see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, with that, we are going to take a break and we're going to try our second wine.
Okay.
Okay, we're back and we're ready to try our second wine. I will say this bottle is a little bit prettier.
It is.
It's kind of a little more elegant and the label's nice and it's kind of fun. It's got a little bird on the back.
Just a classic white and black label.
That's right. So this wine is the Gurrieri Frappato. It's from Sicily, Italy. It is a 2024 vintage, so very new. It was $27.97 at wine.com, so a little bit more than our $25 price range, but it's close enough. 12.5% alcohol again, 100% Frappato, and I couldn't find any professional ratings or any Vivino ratings, despite the fact that it's quite common on the internet. Like it was not hard to find. Mm-hmm. You have let's do the color, but you have kind of a troubled look on your face.
Well, I'm just looking at the color. I mean, it poured very light. It doesn't, I don't know why it doesn't look as light as it did, but it's almost like pomegranate or...
It looks like a Pinot to me.
Yeah, it's light. It's light.
But it's got that kind of ruby red.
Yeah, it's very pretty, actually.
I have a lot of bubbles around the outside of the glass.
You have more than I do, for sure.
Sometimes it's kind of an indication of a wine being kind of young. It's a little carbon dioxide hasn't gotten out. It's... it's high acid wine. Sometimes it's just something that happens. It doesn't mean it's bad or anything. No. But let's go to the smell because you and I are both having the same experience. What are you saying?
Well, I must say that swirling it does not help. Like it's one of those wines I don't think when I've been swirling it, I'm getting some kind of
almost meaty kind of smells.
A little rancid, and I don't think it's bad. But
I wouldn't have said rancid, but I know what you're getting.
I don't know. Maybe that's
I think
too
it's
strong.
gamey. I think it's gamey. I think it smells like meat.
But when it's not been swirled, if you let it settle, I think it's tamped down.
To me, it's super perfumey, like grandma's perfumey.
I feel like it's a little bit more like, it's kind of like a cellar smell.
You're getting a little more funk on it.
Yeah.
I'm getting more like potpourri.
Oh.
Old dried flowers.
Dried flowers, I can see that for sure.
Almost like a little bit of baby powder.
Really?
Yeah. But there's some kind of meat kind of smell on it.
But I think if it settles, maybe if it just was sitting out for a little while, that would change. When I gave it a good swirl, I was like, woo. I mean, it was a little bit matchstick too,
yes,
I think.
I think that's right. I mean, I'm getting some strawberry or cherry, some sort of red fruit, but it's a pretty almost like overripe fruit.
Oh yeah, when overripe strawberries do not taste good.
Yeah.
Or like a day-old strawberry that's been cut. Sometimes it's been mingling with the air too much. Maybe that's what it is.
See, I think as it kind of opens up, it's getting a nicer and nicer smell. It's got a little cinnamon bear to it, a little hot tamale, not the candy.
Mm-hmm, of course.
Well, let's taste it and see what we think.
Okay.
It tastes better than it smells.
For sure. It's kind of thin.
It's thin.
It's not like it doesn't have the tannins like the first one.
I disagree.
Oh, really?
I think it's got a ton of tannins.
Oh, no.
I'm getting like a fruit tea on it, like really tea.
Really?
Like, isn't your tongue super sticky? Like
the first one was, I thought, more.
I almost feel like this is like really grippy tannins. Like,
okay.
Like my tongue is sticking to the roof of my mouth.
Oh my God, I was getting that on the other one.
Wow. Okay.
Huh.
Well, that's why we're different.
Right, different tongues.
Different strokes.
My tongue is different than his tongue.
Boy, let's not talk about it. This is such a weird
I don't know where
episode.
That came from.
I don't know.
What?
Carmela's gone over the deep end. It's the Frappato.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. It's a little more liqueur tasting to me. It's a little harsher. It's not as smooth to me. Don't you think it's a little bit more like, it's not punch you in the face, it's a little more like lightly slap you in the face?
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, it's just, first I felt like it was thin. Now I feel like it's a little harsh.
A little alcohol-y.
Yeah.
It's got some red fruit on it for sure, but I just don't, I think the first one was just way better.
Yeah. I mean, I do feel like some people would probably really dig this wine. But I just don't think it's my speed.
I don't disagree at all. In fact, I think this wine may be a little bit more, like the first one is really fruity, juicy wine. And I think for like a wine drinker, like, a red wine drinker, they might be like, oh, it's fruit juice. This one has a little bit more like, it's got a little austerity to it, which I tend to like, but it just doesn't have enough fruit for me.
Yeah. I'm not, this is a little puzzling to me. I'm not quite sure how to comment on it. Like, if I like it, do I not like it? And
I agree.
I think I'd want to have some food with it.
Yeah. And I just, one thing before we get to the food, it just doesn't feel really balanced.
Yeah.
Like for a low alcohol wine, it feels heavy alcohol. It's just not a lot of fruit on it. So
yeah, it's a pretty wine. I keep looking at yours glass and
it's very pretty.
Very pretty.
Looks great in the glass. If you just want to show it off and not drink it might be perfect. Okay. What food would you have with this wine?
Well, I think a lot of the same things would go well with it too. I like the idea again of like charcuterie, grilled foods for sure. Like grilled chicken would even be really good with this.
I think like the last one is starting to grow on me a little bit.
Oh, is that a good sign or a bad sign?
It's a good sign, but not grow inside of me, but grow on me, which also doesn't sound very good. Although it's super tannic. I'm with you on the foods. I think it needs food. For some reason, I've been thinking like a grilled pizza. I've been thinking about a salad, like a Cobb salad or something.
Oh,
I don't know.
Blue cheese dressing?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe it'd be really good with a stinky or moldy cheese.
Oh.
Not a molded cheese, but like, a gorgonzola.
Right, which would be actually really nice. Something strong then.
A gorgonzola burger.
Ooh,
blue cheeseburger.
Whoa, we haven't done something like that in a long time.
No, and to me it's a little too much, but some people love that shit.
And this would cut through it. Like it would actually...
like a knife.
It would be good with it, I think. But I don't know. I'm going to have another sip.
It's like, I know what rating I'm going to give it immediately because it's a perfect rating for this wine. So let's do that. What would you rate this wine?
I'm going to give it a 6.
Me too. It's a 6. It's like, if I had to drink it, I'd be totally happy. And it's got like, I want to give it a 7, but I just can't give it a 7. It's just not that good.
Well, after having the first one, this one is not holding a candle to it.
Yeah, and they're kind of different.
They're very different. Yeah, and it's a little bit hard to compare the two, really. Yeah. But I just prefer the other two. And if I'm going to get one of these bottles of wine, I would go with the first one.
So that's the wine you're finishing tonight.
Yes,
am I
sir.
right or am I right?
You too?
Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
Okay, let's talk about the taste profiles and if we nailed them. What are the taste profiles expected from a Frappato, you ask, Carmela? Intense red, fruit-forward notes of fresh strawberry, tart cherry, pomegranate. That's a good one. And raspberry, often accompanied by white pepper, clove, cinnamon, and distinct herbal or earthy undertones like tea or sage. Okay. Light to medium bodied, delicate structure, high, refreshing acidity, often described as mouth-watering, low to moderate, soft tannins. See, I don't think the second one had soft tannins.
No baby powder, though, huh?
No baby powder. For the Valle Dell'Acate, the winery says very clear ruby red in color, fragrant and fresh on the nose with hints of red fruit, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, violets, and sage. Very vivacious and fresh palate before a dry, pleasant, and persistent finish. Decanter said all charming red fruits, raspberry, pomegranate, wild strawberry, coupled with incisive acidity and a vertical palate. That's interesting. Fresh, vibrant, and Moorish. I think that's a cherry. James Suckling said fresh and fruity red with aromas of strawberries, raspberries, and cinnamon. So some of those things Jimmy is actually agreeing with me. On. Yeah, medium-bodied, crunchy, and light chalky in texture. The Gurrieri, the winery says elegant, beautiful bouquet with aromas of cherry, pomegranate. A lot of pomegranate. Now, that's something like you would normally pick out, but we didn't pick that out.
Well, I was saying that for the color.
Yes.
Funny enough. But I didn't taste it.
Yep. Raspberry, roses, and white pepper. We definitely got roses. We got some like cinnamon, fresh, fragrant and fresh with the minerality and backbone to be more than just a light wine. Notes of licorice, graphite, which is pencil lead, dried fruit, and a touch of spice. Okay. Champion Wine Cellar says in the glass it shows bright ruby color with vivid clarity. The nose is lifted and aromatic. I thought the first one was more lifted, like it was really coming out of the glass, with notes of cherry, raspberry, and pomegranate alongside rose petal and a light spice note, medium-bodied, fresh acidity, red berry fruit, subtle savory edge. The tannins are soft and lightly structured.
I felt like they weren't as overpowering as you.
Yeah, I thought they were really grippy and really sticky.
Yeah.
Giving shape without weight. Interesting. So, Carmela, here's the question. What is your verdict on Frappato?
Oh, I'm down with it. I will definitely be having more, and I would like to have it in Sicily.
I agree. And I think if I want one of these, I want one that's a little bit more like the first one, like a Gamay, fruity, juicy, beautiful when it's cold.
57 degrees.
57, 58 degrees, really nice. It's going to go well with a ton of foods. Don't let it warm up too much. But I mean, Frappato is a great summer wine. Your snobby wine, Cabernet, Napa, nerdy, over the top, like the wines to punch them in the face. Friends won't like it at all. That's fine. Leave them alone. Let them have their boring cigars and all that crap. And you just enjoy yourself with some fun red wine. She's giving me a really...
Wow,
that was very judgy.
That was judgy, honey.
You thought that was judgy?
Yeah, I thought that was a little much.
If you enjoy a cigar, it's totally fine with me.
And we enjoy a lot of people who like those wines.
And cigars. So I was just being judgy and a jerk.
Yeah.
But that's my MO. That's what
Sometimes.
I do. Yeah. Okay. Okay, now it's time to head over to our news desk so that we can cover our wine in the news this week segment. And the story this week was sent to us by Bud. So thank you, Bud, for sending this news. Wine in the news this week. Our Wine in the News story was written by Dave McIntyre in his Substack blog called Dave McIntyre's Wine Line, and it's entitled A Gut Punch. Spring Freeze Devastates Vineyards in the Mid-Atlantic. Now, the article Bud sent came from the Virginia Pilot, but it was behind a paywall. So we have links to that article, but also several other articles and the one that we mentioned in our show notes that you can actually click through to. Now, this is not quite the normal tone of our Wine in the News segments, but I wanted to talk about it for a couple of reasons.
Okay.
The first is we did several interviews with Virginia winemakers, and so we want you to listen to those and learn a lot about Virginia winemakers because they're making great wines in Virginia and they're under the radar, and we don't think they should be. And because Virginia winemakers and others impacted by this frost, they need our support. That's why Bud sent it. And actually, our friend Christine, Tips to Live By on Blue Sky and Instagram, she actually went and visited this very week.
Whoa.
Virginia, some of the Virginia winemakers that we covered.
Amazing.
Like Corey and Justin Rose.
Oh, wow.
So there you go. So anyway, here's the story. Over 2 nights, April 20th and 21st, temperatures crashed into the low 20s in this area. The damage stretched from the Shenandoah Valley to northern Virginia, through the Montalcino AVA and around Charlottesville, down to Bedford County, and all the way southeast to New Kent County near Richmond. The same freeze rolled into Maryland, southeastern Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and southern New York. And the Virginia Wineries Association is calling it the most significant frost event in 15 to 20 years. The numbers aren't great. Some wineries like New Kent lost up to 90% of its crop.
Oh, no.
Wind Vineyards in Tappahannock is looking at $300,000 in lost production, but thankfully not everybody was impacted in the same way. And the silver lining, if there is one, is that the 2026 vintage isn't gone. It's just going to be smaller, and the winemakers are going to be more selective.
Nice.
And that is what amazed us most about the story as we dug into it. You can see how resilient these winemakers are.
Yes, and they are, they're making sense of things when things don't make sense.
Exactly. They have to deal with it, and they're doing a great job. These are people who are used to being knocked down, who took on a hard job. Like, winemaking is not an easy job, and they're already thinking about how to save this year and how to save and how to prepare for next year. There's a guy named Jim Law at Linden Vineyards, and he's been growing wine in Virginia for 47 years. He lost up to 30% of his crop, which is a first for him. But 8 years ago, before any of this happened, he planted a climate change trial vineyard with different varieties. And guess what? Perfect planning.
Nice.
Like, really smart thing to do. And now he's going to be able to see how he can use those different grapes. And really, the whole area is already rallying. Dave McIntyre put it perfectly in his article. Wine isn't an industry in this area. It's a community. The cellars are still full from its fall harvest. The 2023 vintage is on the shelves and it's outstanding. The single most useful thing any of us can do is walk into a Virginia tasting room and buy a bottle or look for those wines or order them online, right, Carmela?
That's right.
So one last thing, the vines have what are called secondary buds. I didn't really know this. It's a backup system that the plant deploys when the primary buds get destroyed. So there's less fruit, it's slower ripening, but the grapevines do produce this second set of grapes. The vine, even after losing almost everything, it just tries again, just like these Virginia winemakers.
Try and try again.
That's right. So let's give positive vibes to the winemakers in Virginia who might be able to make something of this second bud.
I love that.
But Carmela, what do you think our listeners can do to help these winemakers get through?
Keep drinking.
Keep drinking.
Woo!
Find that Virginia wine and just glug it down.
Ow!
Let's go. All right, we have some fun listener shout outs for this week. We always appreciate it when you reach out to us and tell us what you think or what you're drinking. And so here are some shout outs. We really want to call out a newsletter that we love and we are often mentioned in called The Spill. And listener Trish actually told us about them because she found us in the newsletter. It's a free daily newsletter of wine news, wine education, wine entertainment. It's human curated. They don't use AI, so it's real and relevant. Every day it goes into your inbox. It's created and edited by a 30-plus year wine media veteran named Tom, and he's not paying us for this. He's I'm being serious, super nice guy. He's been supportive of us, so we're going to be supportive of The Spill. So just go to thespill.net. We have the information on our show notes. Sign up for the newsletter. It's really fun. I enjoy reading it every day. And we're in it usually every Monday.
Wow.
Because our episodes come out on Sunday, and usually every Monday we're in there.
Very
so that's
cool.
kind of fun. I already mentioned Christine, who let us know she visited the Septenary Winery, which is the label Corey Craighill runs. That's one of the Virginia winemakers we did an interview series on. And she also visited Rosemont Wines, and we interviewed their winemaker, Justin Rose. So thanks for that, Christine. And, this is one of the things we love, too. Like, when you go and visit places, you taste wines that we've tasted, or you give us ideas, we love that stuff. And then Miss Otu from Ghana and Spotify said she wants to try some white Rioja. And so we want to know what she thinks.
That's so cool.
Yeah, because I don't know if I've ever been reached out to by somebody from Ghana before.
Amazing.
So here's some wines coming up in future episodes in case you want to drink along with us. We have some Two-Buck Chuck. And yes, you can find all of this in our show notes, even links to the exact wines. We have Lebanese wines. We have Italian Sangiovese, but not Chianti. Malvasia wines. Alsace Pinot Gris. We also have Kirkland Bordeaux, Kirkland Chateauneuf-du-Pape, and Kirkland Moscato d'Asti. So maybe grab some of those and you can drink along with us. But thank you for listening to us. We're going to go, and we really appreciate you supporting our show. Remember, we buy all of our own wine, and we do all the writing and recording and editing. We're not AI to bring you a show every week because we love doing it. And our small, tiny, teeny little ask is that you please follow or subscribe to our podcast. You let your family and friends know about it. And you please leave us a really nice 5-star rating and review to help us grow listeners. And we really do appreciate everybody who does that. It means a ton to us. You can also follow us on Instagram and Blue Sky at the Wine Pair Podcast, and evidently TikTok too. You can contact us on our website, thewinepairpodcast.com. Sign up for our email newsletter there. Visit our shop wine section where you can find links to buy the wines that we rate as buys in each episode. And we want to make content you care about, so send us a note, DM us, follow us at the grocery store, stalk us in our home, go into our backyard, look through the windows with a mask on. Please don't do that.
Wow.
Give us some feedback. Let us know if there's wines you want us to
them all in.
Yeah, all the crazies are going to come out. and let us know if there's wines you want us to try or winemaking areas of the world you're curious about. We'll take care of it. Reach out to us at joe@thewinepairpodcast.com. But with that, we're going to sign off. So thank you once again. We'll see you next time. And as we like to say,
Poor souls.
You poor souls, life is short. So stop drinking shitty wine. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And the happy ending.